Hello, bookworms. Today I'm going to read you Hogula, Dread Pig of the Night by Jean Gralley. Porcine fiend snorts victims into deep sleep.
Hog haunts Hamtramck.
It was bedtime. He came out of nowhere. I felt his snout on my neck.
Piggy snoozing. Deep sleep follows hog attack.
Authorities warn. Be home by bedtime.
Pigtail. He's here. He's there. He's everywhere. And when he finds you, he'll snort you into a deep piggy snooze. Thank you very much. Hogula, Dread Pig of the Night. Hogula lived in a castle on grimy Pork Chop Hill. House of Hogula. I love his bats. His companions were his two faithful servants, Chad and Igoretta. Pleasure, I'm sure. And several 100,000 bats. Dance, my pretties, dance! The castle was packed with mud and swill and old garbagey things, just the way Hogula liked it. Things were high on the hog on grimy Pork Chop Hill. But life was not complete. Hogula had no friends to talk with, no friends to play with, except for his bats, no friends to hang with. No friends at all. Hogula very much wanted to make a friend, but how? Master, said Igoretta, may I suggest a mole?
A mole? What's a mole?
It's a big, cheery place full of people, and it's open after hours, too.
Perfect.
There's a good one in town called the Prince's. The Prince's Mall. Splendid, Igoretta. I shall attend. Remember one thing, Master. You must be back by bedtime, before you turn into your usual monstrous snorting self. Bedtime, I shall. Darkness fell, and Hogula departed for the Prince's Mall that very night. Oh my. Halloween sales, spooktacular savings. Well, he liked it right away. People liked him, too. They liked his costume. They loved his fangs. And when he hung from the second-level balcony, they dropped their bags and applauded and cheered. And all of those necks, oh my! It was nearly bedtime, and Hogula's snorty snout itched to sink into them. He triple-flipped perfectly to the third-level balcony. Applause exploded below him. No one noticed how tightly Hogula had to smile to keep from bursting into a snorty fit and snorting every neck in sight. No one, except one shadowy figure who saw and understood. Bing, bang, bong, boing. The clock struck quarter to bedtime, and the shoppers yawned and screamed out the double doors. Oh! In no time at all, Hogula was alone. He blinked. He couldn't believe it. He'd shown up for an entire evening and hadn't made a single solitary friend. Well then, his face burned pinker, his tail curled tighter. No more Mr. Nice Hog. No more trying to make friends. Making friends was too hard. From now on, he would roam the world as the one true thing he was. The awful, snortful, fangful, and friendless Hogula, Dread Pig of the Night. Hey, sir. Is this your shoe? This was Elvis Ann. That night, she went here, there, everywhere. Hey, slam. Trick or treat like is slam. Trick or treat, is this like your shoe? Don't you know it's after bedtime? Slam. Finally, she came to grimy Pork Chop Hill. Trick or... Oh, it was was him. I think, like, this is your shoe? No, it's my glove, but how kind of you. Won't you come in? Excellent. Master's midnight snack has delivered itself to the door. He was strange. He was wonderful, unlike anything she'd ever met before. And in some deep, mysterious way, Elvis and Ann just knew they'd make a perfect team.
She wasn't too sure about these two.
Hogula smiled. Never had he wanted to snort the tempting bit of mortal so badly. He moved it to her face, passed her face to her ear, and brought his twitching piggy snout to the delicious spot on her neck. And when he noticed, her lips were twitching too. Hogula paled before he could scream and jump out of the way. Ah! She smooched him. And it wasn't an ordinary smooch. Her lips left her face like a water balloon shot from a bazooka and splashed a big wet one right on his kisser. Then blam, blam, blam. Oh, she machine-gunned her lips around the room. Hogula gasped. She was going for the bats. Great suffering sausagelings, he cried. I know who you are. Look at the bats. They're scared to death. Hogula was sure now. This was no ordinary mortal. This was Elvis Ann, dread queen of Kissy Face. Known for kisses so slurpy and noisy and tickly and gross, even he was powerless before her fiendish charms. Just as Elvis Ann had thought, they were a perfect match. There was no one in the world like Hogula, and no one like Elvis Ann. They were made for each other, friends. To keep their friendship perfectly porky, they made 3 rules. 1, Hogula could snort. 2, Elvis Ann could kissy face. 3, they could not snort or kissy face each other. In friendship, sometimes you have to give a little to get a lot back. To this very nice, Hogula and Elvis Ann roam neighborhoods together, looking for those up past their bedtime, deciding who to kissy face and who to snort and send into a deep, snoring, piggy Susie snooze. They're here, they're there, they're everywhere, and when they find you, good bite. I hope you like that story. It's one of my favorite Halloween stories. I find it scarylicious. Now, make sure you get to bed on time or you might see Hogula or Elvis Ann. Bye.